It's precisely 1:15. This is the news on Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News is edited by Danushka Madavela, read by Sabrina Zawahir. The headlines. Several areas to receive heavy rains of about 100 millimeters. Landslide warnings have been issued for 4 districts. Prices of the chicken will be reduced. Bus fares will be increased by 4% from tomorrow. Essential medicinal drugs will be supplied to the hospitals without delay. Central Bank warns of criminal action against pyramid scheme scammers. Foreign Minister and Minister of Justice brief the diplomatic corps on the anti-terrorism bill draft. In world news, India launches its first mission to Sun. In sports news, the Asia Cup match between India and Pakistan will be played today in Pallekele. Now the local news in detail. The Met Department said showers will occur at times in western Sabaragamuwa, southern, central and northwestern provinces. Heavy showers of about 100 millimeters are likely at some places in western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts. Showers or thunder showers are expected at several places in eastern and Uva provinces and in Vaunia and Mullaitivu districts in the evening or at night. Meanwhile, the National Building Research Organization says that landslide warnings have been issued in 4 districts. Landslide warnings have been issued in several areas, that's Kalutara, Kegol, Ratnapura and Galle districts. The NBRO warns the public to pay more attention on unstable earth mounds and dangerous buildings as well. The Poultry Producers Association agreed to reduce the price of the chicken. The organization has come to an agreement with the government to sell a kilogram of chicken through supermarkets at 1,250 rupees. This decision was made at a meeting held between Subject Minister Mahinda Amaravira and the Sri Lanka Poultry Producers Association and other poultry producers. The government has decided to import another 9 million eggs to the country to control the price of the eggs. The minister said that if the poultry producers do not agree to reduce the prices, the government will have to import the chicken as well. The National Transport Commission has permitted to raise bus fares by 4% effective from midnight tonight following the recent fuel price increase. The price of a litre of diesel was increased by 35 rupees from August 31st night. The National Transport Commission claims that there will be no change in the minimum bus fare, which is currently at 30 rupees. Accordingly, fares of luxury buses plying on highways will also be increased in relation to this bus fare revision. The Transport Minister has approved the new price revision for all 350 sections. The All Island United Containers Transport Owners Association said container transportation charges will be increased by 5% with effect from midnight yesterday. Accordingly, transportation charges for import and export freight containers are set to increase as mentioned above, Association President Sanat Manjula said. Meanwhile, school children transportation charges would also be increased by 5% from midnight yesterday due to the recent diesel price hike, spokesman from the All Ceylon School Children's Transport Service Association said. This news is brought to you by Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Continuing local news, action will be taken to streamline the medicinal supplies process. Health Minister Keheli Rambukwala has instructed National Medicines Regulatory Authority to increase the number of qualified suppliers. This will end the monopoly with regard to some medicines and it will reduce the prices of those drugs. The minister also said that it will help to control the unnecessary price hikes as well. Meanwhile, Additional Secretary to the Ministry of Health, Samaneka Nayaka, says that essential medicinal drugs will be supplied to the hospitals without delay. Around 400 types of essential drugs have already been distributed throughout the country. He said that there is a shortage of 77 types of medicines at present. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka emphasized that the law can be enforced under the Code of Criminal Procedure against those who encourage illegal pyramid schemes. Accordingly, the perpetrators of such activities can be arrested without a warrant. Moreover, the law states that it is a non-bailable offence. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka highlighted that the pyramid schemes banned by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka use various tactics by changing the name and business name to make them appear legitimate. Commenting on that, CBSL has stated that the smuggling pyramids are working to get investments based on 4 points to justify illegal schemes. The CBSL has received many complaints from the public about them. That ends local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The escalating trend of rising cancer rates in Sri Lanka underscores the critical importance of proactive measures. Over the past years, the incidence of cancer in Sri Lanka has surged from 13,372 cases in 2005 to a staggering 31,848 cases in 2019, marking a significant surge of 138%. Globally, cancer incidents have risen at similar rates. The World Health Organization and other leading international organizations have indicated early detection of cancer is one of the most effective strategies for the fight against cancer. Early detection yields more efficient treatment outcomes and improves recovery prospects. Herein emerges the promising innovation of OptaScan, a newly unveiled non-invasive screening application for several internal cancers. Setting itself apart as the first of its kind, on-demand, real-time screening solution, OptaScan offers a beacon of hope in the fight against cancer. OptaScan is for the first time in South Asia introducing their pioneering technology which harnesses the power of artificial intelligence and machine learning to detect various forms of cancer non-invasively. That was main news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Watchlight, Power and Energy Minister Kanchana Wijesekara said that the existing National Fuel Pass system, which existed for more than 1 year, was discontinued with effect from midnight last night. The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation has reached this decision considering that the demand for fuel can be satisfied now. The National Fuel Pass system was implemented at all fuel filling stations of both the SEPETCO and LIOC across the country in August 2022 in response to the fuel shortage caused by the economic crisis faced by the country. That came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
Say no more to moving and paying rent. Get a home loan from Commercial Bank at the lowest interest rate and get a home of your own.
Which Bhatta are you in now?
In Javatta, in my own house.
Taking a look at the headlines of the world news. India launches its first mission to Sun. Singapore picks a new president. Former Harrods owner Mohammed Al Fayed dies at 94. Now the world news in detail. India has launched its first observation mission to the Sun just days after the country made history by becoming the first to land near the moon's south pole. Aditya L1 lifted off from the launch pad at Sriharikot on Saturday at 11:50 India time. It will travel 1.5 million kilometers from the Earth, 1% of the Earth-Sun distance. India's space agency says it will take 4 months to travel that far. India's first space-based mission to study the solar system's biggest object is named after Surya, the Hindu god of sun who is also known as Aditya. And L1 stands for Lagrange Point 1, the exact place between Sun and Earth where the Indian spacecraft is heading. According to the European Space Agency, the Lagrange point is a spot where the gravitational forces of two large objects such as the Sun and the Earth cancel each other out, allowing the spacecraft to hover. Once Aditya L1 reaches this parking spot, it would be able to orbit the Sun at the same rate as the Earth. This also means the satellite will require very little fuel to operate. Singaporeans have chosen Tharman Shanmugaratnam as their next president, but many would have let out a small sigh of disappointment as they did so. The former top minister won a record of 70.4% of the votes yesterday, comfortably beating two other candidates in the country's first contested a presidential election in more than a decade. Mr. Tharman was always the clear front-runner. Urbane, well-spoken and intelligent, he is highly regarded by the Singaporeans and consistently polls as one of the island's most popular politicians, which was why Mr. Tharman announced several months ago he was quitting the ruling People's Action Party to run for president. Many Singaporeans were baffled by what they viewed as a waste of his potential. Mohammed Al Fayed, the former Harrods boss, whose son Dodi was killed in a car crash alongside Diana, Princess of Wales, has died aged 94. Born in Egypt, he built a business empire in the Middle East before moving to the UK in the 1970s. However, he never realized his ambition to gain a passport for his adopted country. He spent his later years questioning the circumstances surrounding the deaths of Dodi and Diana. Mr. Al Fayed had remained largely out of the public limelight in the past decade, living in his Surrey mansion with his wife Havi. That ends World News. Prior to concluding, the headlines of the World News once again. India launches its first mission to Sun. Singapore picks a new president. Former Harrods owner Mohammed Al Fayed dies at 94. That ends World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
This message is for all the kids between the ages of 4 and 16 who love to draw. Commercial Bank's Arunalu Sittam is back once again. This time, the competition is also open to Sri Lankan kids currently living abroad. First, second and third place prizes will be awarded along with special merit and merit certificates. For more information, visit the Commercial Bank website. We have so many prizes to be won.
Development News is brought to you by
Job opportunities for well-experienced housemaids and home cooks in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait for ages 40 to 58 years. Salary 135,000 rupees. Contact 037 7500 500.
A diplomatic briefing was convened at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for the Colombo-based Diplomatic Corps on current developments related to the draft anti-terrorism bill yesterday. Minister of Justice, Prison Affairs and Constitutional Reforms, Dr. Vijayadasa Rajapaksa, and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ali Sabri, addressed the briefing. At the outset, Minister Sabri recalled that the Prevention of Terrorism Act was amended in 2022 following extensive deliberations with all relevant stakeholders, including the civil society, taking into consideration the constructive comments and concerns expressed by domestic and international stakeholders. That was Development News.
Job opportunities for women from Deshakti Lanka in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and Oman. Housemaids and home cooks in Saudi Arabia, ages 40 to 58 years. Arabic speaking and well experienced home cooks. Salary 135,000 rupees. Interviews are now on with foreign agents. You can travel overseas free of charge now. Branches Colombo, Kurunegala, Anuradhapura and Matara. Contact number 0377 500 500. Deshakti Lanka Foreign Employment Agency.
Moving on to sports news, the Asia Cup match between India and Pakistan will be played today in Pallekele. The match is scheduled to start at 3:15 p.m. Pakistan will be going into their final Group A match of the Asia Cup with the same side that beat Nepal in Malton on Wednesday. It is the second time Pakistan have opted to name their lineup a day early, a practice that is set to continue throughout the tournament. However, with rain around and significant chances of a curtailed game, the Asia Cup's official hosts retain the option of making changes up until the toss. More news in sports. A sublime batting display led England to a crushing 95-run win over New Zealand in the second T20 at Old Trafford. Opener Johnny Bairstow hit an unbeaten 86 from 60 balls and Harry Brook struck a magnificent 67 from 36 as England posted 198 for 4. Fast bowler Gus Atkinson then took 420 on his international debut as New Zealand crumbled to 103 all out. The win gives England a 2-0 lead in the 4-match series. That was sports news.
Go ekaktiana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyameta set wenna as wahagena dagapuhina habe karanna youth ekata niyameta set wenna friendship ekamenna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Global CEO Forum 2023 is set to take place on September 21st in Colombo. This event serves as a pivotal platform for the exchange of knowledge and networking, attracting forward-thinking, result-driven business leaders from across the globe. The Global CEO Forum is an annual assembly of esteemed executives and industry luminaries fostering enlightening discussions, knowledge exchange and networking. Centered around addressing challenges and prospects in the contemporary global business landscape, the forum is committed to driving substantial change and shaping the future of the business world. That was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekaktiana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyameta set wenna as wahagena dagapuhina habe karanna youth ekata niyameta set wenna friendship ekamenna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Moving on to economic news. The Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka has decided to revoke the license of Bimput Finance plc, a listed financial company. In a statement, the central bank said Bimput Finance plc, a licensed finance company, has continuously been violating contravening provisions of the FBA, several general directions and rules that have been issued with the view to achieve the overall objective of financial system stability, and also specific directions issued to BFP in order to address the critical financial position of the company. Consequently, the financial condition of BFP had been deteriorating due to deficient capital level, poor asset quality and continuous losses. That was economic news.
Weather report.
Finally, we take a look at the weather report. Showers will occur at times in western, Sabaragamuwa, southern, central and northwestern provinces. Heavy showers about 100 millimeters are likely at some places in western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in eastern and Uva province and in Vaunia and Mullaitivu districts during the evening or at night. That was the weather report. Prior to concluding this bulletin of news, the headlines once again. Several areas to receive heavy rains of about 100 millimeters. Landslide warnings have been issued for 4 districts. Prices of the chicken will be reduced. Bus fares will be increased by 4% from tomorrow. Essential medicinal drugs will be supplied to the hospitals without delay. Central Bank warns of criminal action against pyramid scheme scammers. Foreign Minister and Minister of Justice brief the diplomatic corps on the anti-terrorism bill draft. With that, we conclude the news, and over to my friend and certainly yours who's all geared up to keep you entertained with a wonderful collection of music. Over to you, Amanda.